welcome to Percussion Axiom TV. I am your host, Tom Burritt, and this is episode number 85. And today we continue with the Serry Night Rhapsody series. If you're watching this for the first time, go back several episodes. We've been doing a series on a specific piece that I'm going to play at our international convention in Indianapolis on November 10th, I believe it is. So we're about 3 weeks away. We've got a lot to cover. But I encourage you, if you're watching this for the first time, go back 3 or 4 episodes, catch us from the beginning. We've been outlining a misunderstood work, this Night Rhapsody is, I think. And so the goals are sort of two. The two goals here, which is the first one is to sort of, just to encourage people to have an opportunity to learn more about sort of a mysterious piece that doesn't get played very much because of its difficulty. To clear up some of those issues and how interesting of a masterwork it is. So we're going to talk a lot about sort of the compositional issues, but also to lead up to the performance in Indianapolis, give you guys a chance that are actually going to be there to follow through a series, to get a more informed performance. I love to talk before I play something to share some of these thoughts with an audience, but there won't be time for that in Indianapolis. So go back, start from the beginning, be a much more meaningful experience for you. So we'll continue on. Today's episode, the Axiom is Dies Irae. We have to sort of dedicate this episode to that theme. You guys are all familiar with it. We are going to start talking about the development in this, and just to catch you up real quick, last couple weeks we've been talking about the exposition. So it's a rhapsody, which sort of alludes, to this idea that there really isn't a form, but sort of loosely we can see evidence of a sonata form in this piece. And so we've talked last time about the exposition, which includes 2 themes, like most sonata form expositions would. The A theme here, which is a 7-note figure, very chromatic, and then a more lyrical B theme. There's the B theme. Following along a very sort of strict sonata form concept of A theme more angular, B theme more lyrical. So now it's time in measure 61 to get into the development section, which is a huge, vast. Serry is just getting started. And so we're going to talk about a first little chunk of the development today. And it starts sort of in measure 61, I think, with a scherzando, obvious, clear connection to the past. And we hear the Dies Irae theme. Now, what is the Dies Irae theme? Well, if you're familiar with, if you've seen Lord of the Rings, composers overuse the theme, in my opinion, in most movies. If you're more of a classical musician, you recognize it from maybe the Mozart Requiem, or also famous by Verdi Requiem. We see a lot of that. And so basically, if we look at my favorite site here, Wikipedia, Dies Irae theme was originally a 13th century Latin hymn, but basically it's connecting to the Day of Wrath, or the Last Judgment. So it's really heavy stuff, very evil, if you will, which is why it often represents evil characters in movies and such. So that theme, of course, goes like this. Sorry, that's actually not right. Here it is. There it is. So Serry begins this development with in measure 61 with the scherzando version of that in 3s, which is another connection to his obsession with the rhythmic motive of 3. We'll get into that. So there's the Dies Irae theme, and that comes in and out throughout the whole development section. So above that, in this following measures are more 2 different versions of 3 in a rhythmic sort of hyper-rhythmic way. So the first one is 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then we've got the thing on top, C. Where we've got the grace notes that actually sort of a longer rhythmical 3 over the top of that. This continues. We're not going to talk about every measure here, but that's how the development starts. We get into on the top of page 4. We get into some more rhythmic motives of 3, retrograding versions of 7, and so on. And then we sort of end this little phrase section here in 76 or so with a very clear 1, 2, 3. All right, we get into some other interesting things that, I can't really explain. The tempo in 78. I haven't really been able to find a very clear connection to. But we get the Dies Irae again, getting into 84, where we have this idea again moving down. And so that's really what is focused here. So we've got a lot of things going on. The Dies Irae theme, retrogrades of the A theme, and rhythmic motive of 3. All right, so moving on, getting into 93. We've got a lot happening here. We've got the first idea getting into, which is the rhythmic motive of 3. 1, 2, 3. So there it is again. A theme stuff on top. And then we've got B theme in the bottom. There's the B theme there. And then A. E still going on underneath it. There's B. 1, 2, 3. So all the way through this section, we've got sort of A theme in the left hand. A theme in the right hand. B theme in the left hand with rhythmic motives of 3 flying all over the place. It's quite interesting what he's doing here. All right. So then we get into 108, and we've got this sort of cluster of... This is sort of a new motive. This is one of the things I'm having a hard time really kind of explaining and figuring out, but I think it really mostly has to do with the first theme, but sort of a new idea that he's sort of bringing in, this sort of melody, if you will. All right, we'll hear that a lot moving forward. So we get into the end of that phrase and into the top of page 6. So that's the chunk that I wanted to catch today. So I wanted to play through most of that for you now, so you can get a sense for what I'm doing and how it all works together. So we're going to start scherzando, play just about a page and a half or so for you, and we'll continue with the rest of it next time. So just notice those things we mentioned: the Dies Irae theme, the rhythmic motives of 3, the A theme, retrograde, and then actually in true form towards the end of that, and then the clear A theme in the bottom. So here we go. Okay, so that's most of it there, most of that section. Anyway, hopefully you can see how interesting he's using these different ideas. He's putting them here, putting them here. It's very important as a performer in this case, right, to really know what's happening so you can know how to voice towards one area or the other. And that's today's show. So, Dies Irae, and just really well-crafted music. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So that's that. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please check the other episodes out. Tell your friends, especially if you know they're going to be at the convention. To my knowledge, nothing has